Hey guys, we are live. We are still sorting out a couple of technical issues, so just bear with us. We'll be getting started here momentarily. Here we go. Hey Mario, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Do you have a camera at all, or
Yeah, it's picking up my mic, but not my camera for some reason.
um, check your cam mic settings again. See if you can't get that sorted. Make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. There we go. Can you say something real
Check,
quick?
check.
You're good. You're good. All
Cool, we
right.
got it.
Now I can't hear
We
you.
got it. You can't hear us now.
Our show's always worth the wait.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on, Danny Lee? Sorry, guys. We were having some technical difficulties here. Our guest was running a few minutes late, and now we're having mic issues, so please bear with us. We'll get started here in a momento.
I'm just gonna drink my margarita.
Go for it. Show's better when you're drunk, anyways.
Technical difficulties. Seth is getting drunk.
Alright, now we can't hear Mario. Can you hear us? Alright, we may have to do this without a camera if this is going to be what's going on. I'm going to text him real quick. Get back to where you didn't have a camera and you could hear us, and we'll just use that. Well, in the meantime, while we're getting these technical difficulties sorted, guys, the show is all about trying to figure out what you want from our show. So please feel free to drop anything in the comments, and we will try to answer any questions. We will try to answer any concerns, and basically, we're just trying to figure out what you guys want from us moving forward.
Yeah, besides our beautiful faces.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's a gift into
I mean,
itself.
I know you tune in just for the looks.
Mm-hmm. Two handsome dudes here. Just saying. One of them
Just,
single.
just shoot the shit. Probably getting drunk.
I wish I could get drunk right now, but I'm on too many painkillers.
That would be bad and also hilariously interesting.
Oh my gosh. Let's see what Mario says. Alright. We'll give him another minute and then we'll let him figure this out and we'll move forward. So, we may have to move forward without you until you can get this fixed. Oh, he says he's rebooting.
Cool.
Alright, well, while he's rebooting, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll just bring him back in here when he's ready. Alright. Well, hello, what's going on, everybody? My name is Raynor. Hello?
Wait, sorry, I was muted. I'm Seth.
God, don't scare me like that. Welcome to Collecting Rarities, the show where we discuss all obscure collectibles and all obscure things in the collecting world. Now, before we get
best rarities for this show.
Now, before we get started today, we want to thank our sponsor, Watto Scrapyard, for sponsoring this episode. And what can I say about Watto? He does amazing work. He does amazing work, and I actually just completed my Darth Talon thanks to him.
Dude, that Talon was amazing.
Yeah, I was super stoked. I'm like, as soon as we're done here, I'm actually gonna go mess with it some more. So.
Yeah, that turned out fantastic. He nailed it with that head sculpt.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Alright, so we have previous rarities. As stated before, this is a recap episode. This is more about seeing what y'all want and what we've covered and what you want us to cover in the future. So we're going to be covering a lot of the previous subjects here and just getting a lot of a fresh take on it. So one of the things that's been a little while since we covered is the Star Wars trading post at Disney parks. You know, and Seth, I know you've had an interesting opinion on this one. Care to share?
Yeah, if I remember right, I covered that. You know, you lose some of the magic, I guess, of just going to a trading post to buy some of the stuff instead of hunting it down in the parks. And
yeah,
you know, understandably with COVID, this is a necessary evil. But I hope this isn't something that continues with Disney parks. I hope they don't cheapen the magic just because of this is how things are this year, you know?
Yeah, I'm hoping that this doesn't be permanent. I mean, I hope this is just a COVID solution and not a permanent solution.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they're hurting for money. They've been shut down for, months now in California. They just opened in Florida maybe a couple months back. I understand the need and necessity for it, but come on. It's Disney. You got to have the magic. You got to have the hunt to find the unique, little trinkets and just items that you can find in the parks.
Well, and especially, since Disney's all about the show, they're all about the immersion factor. I mean, this kind of just completely breaks everything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Let's see here. So one of the previous subjects we've covered is custom sabers, and I don't know how much you are into custom sabers here, but we have... Hey, Mario.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
we can. We can, finally. Yes, it's working.
We did it!
Hooray! We
The
did
magic
nothing.
of modern technology.
So let's backtrack a bit, because I definitely want to get Mario's take on this.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about how the magic is kind of gone from going to a trading post.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree 100%. I mean, me being a Disney Parks fan, it definitely isn't the same. I mean, it really isn't the same. Just going into a shop, seeing all of the merch that's exclusive to the park, which is supposed to be part of the actual world building of the park, that section itself in Galaxy's Edge. It's a bit of a shame, but I mean, Disney's got to make money right now during these times.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of someone who's been to Galaxy's Edge, I can tell you, the immersion factor is real. I mean, it is.
Definitely.
I've only been once, but I felt like I literally was in Star Wars while I was there.
If you ever make it out to the West Coast, the immersion, I feel, is a little bit better than Florida. It just seems completely isolated. I understand in Hollywood studios, you're walking past the Toy Story land, right? And then you just walk up to like an open aerial Batu.
Mm-hmm.
That's
pretty accurate, actually.
So over here, there's multiple entrances. right? You can take a trail that leads down Critter Country, and it kind of blends in the path to where there's like a group of you're walking down a path with trees and you'll start hearing the faint music of Galaxy's Edge as you get closer to it, and that'll lead you to the Resistance side.
Really?
Right. It's a lot. I feel it's a lot more blended in going this way.
I've always kind of thought that about California's park, though, is that they have like handled just the immersion of all their parks better than Florida. Florida seems to be cheapened a little bit.
I agree with that. Although I'm biased towards hometown, so I'm gonna agree with you 100% on that.
Well, speaking as somebody who's only been to World, I still was blown away by Galaxy's Edge over there.
Right. There are subtle differences between the two parks. Very, very subtle. I don't know if anybody will look for this, but one of them is actually the paint scheme, because from what I understand, the weather over there, they kind of changed the paint to be a little bit darker throughout for all the buildings, just to make sure that over time it'll just kind of fade evenly, I guess. I don't know. But that's what I heard.
Well, I mean, it's Florida. It's going to rain like literally every day.
Yeah, considering the climate is like way different than it is over here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing, I guess, just quickly derailing our talk, is that Pirates is wildly different, I think, between Florida and California. Because Pirates in California has 2 drops, Florida has 1. I feel like Pirates in California is a more immersive ride than it is in Florida.
I would say California has 1.5 drops, if you want to call it. Drop.
Yeah, it is 1.5 drops, but right. I mean, still, you get more to the ride, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it was originally developed. It's a California classic,
Yeah.
So Mario, what was your take on the Millennium Falcon over at Galaxy's Edge?
When I first went, it was at night, right? So I'm walking up through the first order trading post. I entered in that way, and I'm like, "Where's the Falcon? Where's the Falcon? Where's the Falcon?" So I'm just making my way through, and as I start to see it on the horizon, I'm like, my heart just starts beating, right? And I'm just getting all excited just to see it. At that time, while I was making my way up, I had bought myself a cup of blue milk at the time.
Oh, right? Nice.
So walking up and then seeing it, I was just in complete awe of that thing, man. It's so huge. It's so detailed. I mean, it's the freaking Falcon.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you minus the dish. I mean, considering it's sequel trilogy dish, but whatever. So
what did you think of the ride itself?
The ride itself, it was fun. I mean, I really thought the queue is really nice over here. I believe it's the same over there too. It moves a lot faster than what it is, but a lot of the detail that's in that queue makes the line move a lot faster than what it seems. The pre-show with Hondo Ohnaka, that animatronic looks so real, so lifelike.
Oh God, yes.
It's amazing. I mean, when I first saw that thing, I thought it was like a real actor there, and I saw that others thought the same thing.
So when I went, I had the DOS pass because I was still hurt at that point. Mm-hmm. So I was able to just say, hey, come back at this time, and we'll take care of you. Sure. So I got scooted to the front of the line, and I was able, since I was in a party with a few people, I was able to choose what seat I wanted to be in. So I sat in Han Solo's seat. If
you actually have a couple people and you have like a mixed group, you can ask the cast member there. It's a 50-50 shot, but you want to, hey, we want to be pilots. Can we like just wait for the next group? And they're like, yeah, we'll just stand aside right here and we'll get you the next group and make sure you guys are pilots. So we're like, sweet. Right.
So
that's awesome.
That was nice.
So I was in Han Solo's seat, and I was immediately blown away just by the realism of the ride. How immersive they make it, and how the responses and everything, how it works and how it responds to your movement. But dude, I gotta be honest with you, we totally wrecked the Falcon in there.
who didn't? Right?
I mean, for the people who don't know. The pilot seat where Han sits controls left to right, and the co-pilot controls up and down. Pilot controls the engine boost, and the co-pilot controls the hyperdrive. And so it was one of those deals where my co-pilot and I were not in sync. And so we were bouncing all over the damn place, and the engineers were sitting there just going, repair damage.
So the first time I went, it was when we sat in the pilot seat. It was me and my brother. His name is Jesse, and us growing up in a Mexican household, his nickname was Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he caught that shit all of his life, right? So one of the first times, of course, he's sitting in the co-pilot seat. I'm sitting in the pilot seat. The time when you hit the hyperdrive to go to light speed, right away, punch it, Chewy, right away. Just hit that switch and just go.
Oh my god, that must
It
have been
is
awesome.
it was great. And then when you get off, and that feeling when you realize that you flew the Falcon, right?
Yeah.
It's so amazing just thinking about that.
Dude, I came off and I was high as a kite at that point.
Right.
I mean, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!
Mm-hmm.
I just flew the Falcon."
What do you think of the area where you're waiting to be called for your group, as far as the Desrec table and everything being there?
I did not get a chance to really soak that in because as soon as we were ushered in, a zone opened up and we just went straight in. I wanted to get a picture, but we just didn't have enough time.
Okay.
But yeah. I did take a look at it, and it looked fantastic.
Yeah. It's really great the way they put that together, and plus the multiple entrances when you're going to your cockpit. I believe you can go in through like one of the main hallways that leads you directly to the Falcon cockpit, just like in the film, or there's another alternate path that leads you towards the back way in the repair room, where in Empire, where Leia was making repairs on the Falcon. You walk through that corridor and then on to the cockpit.
Yeah, I can't remember which one we went through, but I knew it wasn't the cockpit door, but it wasn't towards the back either. I think maybe World had like maybe three sims in there. I could be wrong.
Right.
But yeah, it was amazing, and that kind of immersion is what disappoints me about this, but at the same time, I get it. They've been closed for so dang long. They got to make their money. I mean, a park's not an easy thing to run. They're already talking about laying off people.
Yeah.
And that's just going to break immersion even further.
Yeah. On top of that, also, we over here on the West Coast recently got the opportunity to open up an extension of Disney California Adventure. They made that an extension of Downtown Disney, which is basically it's similar to Hollywood Springs out there, where it's basically outdoor shopping district and dining district. So what they did is that they opened up the other park, which are excuse me, DCA is like Hollywood Studios over there, right in Florida. So they opened up a little piece of the main street, Buena Vista Street, just to open it up for shopping and dining. Hollywood Boulevard, the same thing. And unfortunately, when Southern California went purple, all the dining experiences just shut down, and it's just less enjoyable. But
that sucks.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It is.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. I understand the reasoning, but it still sucks.
Well, moving on from Disney, because we could spend an hour on this subject.
5 hours.
So, custom sabers, we have covered this topic, and I know, Mario, this was something you and I talked about a bit over the phone the other day. We were kind of getting into, I know it's something you want to get into. So, custom sabers, quick overview of why they're called custom sabers and not custom lightsabers, a little thing known as copyright. So, basically, these companies will take and custom make anything from original designs to mimics of these characters sabers, and because of that, they're not officially licensed products. I mean, for crying out loud, some of these people are working out of their garage. So you have to use the term saber and not lightsaber when you're talking about custom sabers. So there are many places out there. There's KR Sabers, Saber Forge, Vader's Vault, Ultra Sabers, Saber Trio, Electrum, just to name a few. And wow, there's just so much that can go into these things that makes them just amazing. I mean, you're talking about smooth swing, NeoPixel, custom sound fonts, soundboards, just stuff you won't find in a Galaxy's Edge or a Black Series Saber. Yeah. And so, I know, Seth, you're not as familiar with these, but Mario, I mean, I know you recently just won one off our last show. What are your thoughts and impressions on it?
Thank you very much for that, first of all.
Not a problem.
That thing was, I thought the fit and finish was pretty nice. I mean, was that hilt labeled after anybody in particular, or was that just like completely custom?
So that was supposed to be Revan's Jedi Saber. So, so it's called the Savior, and then his Sith Saber is called the Butcher from that company.
Okay.
That's another thing they'll do, is they'll come up with funny names where you obviously know who it is, but they don't come out and say, "Well, this is Edra Brizzer's lightsaber." No, it's the Adept.
Sure. Yeah.
You can't say that.
Right.
So.
Now, my thoughts first handling it, just the hilt alone. I mean, I can see some similarity or some homages to some of the other characters that are in that hilt. Like the pommel appears to be Episode 1 Obi-Wan's hilt, his hilt. The fit and finish was really nice. I really like the shine of it. It felt nice in the hand. It's a nice weight. I was kind of surprised on how you can still activate it without a blade.
Yeah.
Right. So, and
that's awesome.
So turning it on, that bad boy was loud. I couldn't get over how loud that speaker was.
Just wait until you put a blade plug in there, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I did. I did put the blade plug in there. The screw, the retention screw, it takes a little getting used to.
It does.
Me personally, just only dealing with the legacy sabers, I'm just used to where I can just clamp them in, twist them, and off you go. If you just want to play with it. It wasn't a struggle or anything. I mean, just a minor inconvenience, but powering that sucker on and just hearing that bad boy go off, that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and the retention screw is a design put in so that you can duel with those things without having to worry.
Right.
Because once that retention screw's in, that blade is going nowhere. And those blades, I mean, as you saw with the blade, I don't know if you took a look at it, it's about an inch thick at the walls of the blade.
Yeah.
So they're designed to take a flipping beating.
That's awesome, though.
So these things, you can do full contact dueling with them. And the electronics and stuff are stored in there in a way that they'll be safe. And if they're not, you can get... Most of these companies have either a lifetime or a several years warranty. So you can get it fixed easily.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of these custom kits that are out there with all these different sound fonts and features. The smooth swinging effect is really, really appealing right now.
Oh yeah,
with the NeoPixel kits and everything. I've been looking at Star Wars Theory, some of the stuff that he's unboxed. Sir James Mitchell's channels, he does a lot.
Oh
and
yeah,
even some of the guys, even Matt at Rogue 16 been plugging away at some of these custom sabers as well. And just as a display piece, those are just works of arts alone. But with the electronics in them, just takes these things to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah, immersion. I mean, you can play music while you're sitting there dueling.
Right, absolutely.
It's crazy the amount of customization these things have.
And some of the character intros in there are pretty neat too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, another subject we've covered in the past, if you'd like to see more of it, we have You're in Luck because we're now having a Shoe of the Week, Shoe of the Show segment here that we'll do later. But Seth, you want to take us aboard on this one since this is your little forte.
Yes, I love sneakers. I love sneakers. I really do. I have 44 pairs of shoes. That's not enough. I need more.
44? Jeez.
Yeah, so we did cover my lovely PlayStation Air Force Ones that you see in front of you. Man, I just love sneakers. I love the fact that you can get whatever whatever you want. You want Mandalorian shoes, they're out there. You want Baby Yoda shoes, they have them. You want Captain America, I've seen them. Thor, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool hobby to get into, you know. It can be super expensive, and I hate paying the money that I pay on shoes, but...
What are some of your most expensive pairs of shoes or most rare pairs of shoes?
The rarest pair I have today is Justin Timberlake's Jordan 3 that he debuted at the Super Bowl when he did the Super Bowl show. I did not get it in the drawing when they released them during the Super Bowl show. So I paid aftermarket prices. I think I paid $550 for them.
Dang. Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah. I hate that I paid it, but I mean, come on. It's Justin Timberlake Jordan 3s.
Jordan 3s, exactly, right?
Like, you're not going to find something cooler than that.
Agreed. I remember when the Miles Morales ones came out for the Jordan 1s, the Spider-Man.
Yes, I tried so hard to get
so
those.
Did I over here. I mean, I'm not a sneakerhead, but damn, those shoes are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan 1s in those schemes with the little pattern that they had in the red.
Yeah, and they were so badass.
Those are sick.
And then I missed out on them. I kept trying to get them. Now, I swear to God, they're over $600.
Jeez.
And I'm just like, there's no way. No way.
So, where does one go to get these sneakers here, Seth?
So really, if you're looking at any kind of Nike does drawings or just releases through their specialty app called Sneakers. And basically you hop on there during release days, you try to purchase them. Like, it's really about the fastest click. You're like clicking through, like, pick my size, pick all that, put my payment information in. Like, hopefully you get them. I hate to say that I've only gotten like maybe 10 pairs through them. Because
sounds like you got to take crack cocaine and Ritalin before you do that.
Yeah, well, there's other ways to get them. I mean, there's cut groups where you join a big group and everybody's trying to get the shoe, and if somebody doesn't want them, then they'll sell them to you for like a little bit more. You can bot certain sites to get the shoes, but I don't really want to pay for a bot because that's $200 or $300 that I'm shelling out just to get a pair of shoes. Hopefully in the future, and you don't know, like, is your bot reputable? Is it actually going to go through the websites and purchase the shoes faster? I mean, there's some people that are super serious about it. I'm not that serious. But if you don't get them at retail, I have always bought them from StockX. And StockX is like the stock market of shoes. So they list prices, what they sell for and what they have sold for. People list their prices. Like, I mean, I sold a pair of shoes, a pair of Yeezys that I listed at $800. I bought over a year ago at $200. So I mean, do what?
No, go ahead. Do you wear any of these? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I wear most of the pairs that I have. Occasionally I'll buy a pair and then just like, I'm not feeling it, but I know it's going to go for a lot later on, so I'll just put it away in my closet, keep it in the box, and then sell it later on.
You ever wear them more than once, or it's just one and done pretty much?
No, I wear them, I rotate like crazy, so I will never wear the same pair of shoes like 2 or 3 times a week. Usually like I mean, I have 44 pairs, so I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
with 44 pairs, I wouldn't think so.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna wear this one, and then tomorrow I'm gonna wear that one, and I always try to coordinate with my outfit. So I'm like, red shirt, red shoes, red, black shirt, black shoes. If I'm wearing like a Star Wars shirt, Star Wars shoes. So
there you go.
You gotta go all out.
Mm-hmm.
Another one we've covered in the past, and this is a goodie. Liquor.
Whiskey.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you can do all kinds of liquor collecting, but me, it's only whiskey.
So Mario, I don't know. Do you have any whiskey collections or anything top shelf going on? Or?
Nah, nothing else. Alcohol's not my thing, really. I'm a casual drinker, and I'm pretty casual. But with hard liquor, I mean, nah, I never really found anything that'll really.
You're like a beer at a party type of guy, huh?
For the most part, yeah.
I'm a casual hard drinker.
I'm a casual alcoholic. It's no big deal.
Sure, right?
I'm not an alcoholic because that's admitting that you have a problem.
Not quite there yet.
No, I'm a functional drinker. I drink a lot and then still go on with my day, so we're good.
That's a good thing.
Man, I just love collecting whiskeys too because that's a fun little hobby for if you're gonna drink it. Find some of those wild mixes and just interesting things that people are doing these days.
Keep that collection under lock and key, right?
Yeah. I don't have anything outrageous. I mean, my highest bottle is like $100, but I mean, there's a few. I got to try actually the Boss Hog that's in the picture at Whiskey Cake, and for a 1 ounce pour, it was $100 because that bottle retails anywhere between $500 to well into $1,000 a bottle.
Oh,
wow!
Top shelf booze there.
Mm-hmm. But they're made in such small batches that, I mean, people pay it.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. I told you this story. I told you the story about the eggs and the scotch, right?
Did you? Maybe I don't remember.
So
I haven't heard it.
So I was like, I don't know, probably about 10, maybe 9. And I wanted to do something nice for my dad and cook him breakfast. So I get some eggs and some peppers and stuff, and I start cooking them up and whatever. And I've seen on TV, the chefs always use wine for, cooking and all this. And I'm like, well, I can do that. What's around here? Oh, 15-year-old scotch. And so I drain like a good amount of the bottle in there. And my dad's sitting there eating, and he's like, what did you cook this with? And I said, oh, I just cooked it with this. And he's like, my scotch? Thank you.
Yeah, and I can imagine a 15-year scotch is not cheap.
No, it's not.
But hey, it's the thought that counts, right?
That's why he didn't yell at me. He just said, don't ever do that again. We appreciate the gesture, but don't ever use my scotch again.
Yeah. Please, and if you have to use the scotch, don't use the 15-year.
Yeah, exactly.
10 years or less, right?
Oh my gosh. Alright, moving on. We had Zachary's little hobby here, which is watches. And I can personally say I know nothing about watches. Zachary did a good, thorough job explaining it. And if you want to learn more about it, I highly recommend checking out that episode. But
yeah, I can't even dive into. I mean, he was a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah,
to the point where he could. I mean, he could honestly do like a whole like museum tour of watches and probably name off like what when they were made, what they were made using. I mean, it was just wild. I had no idea.
Well, I had no idea how expensive they could get. I mean, I understood like Rolexes and stuff like that were out there, but holy shit. Like some of the stuff these watches go for is just crazy.
I'm still a little pissy that he shat all over my Apple Watch, though. I happen to like it.
I like the Apple Watch too. Yeah, I like the Apple Watch you gave me.
Yeah, I have yet to jump in that game. I've always enjoyed wearing a watch, a decent watch, but I find myself a little clumsy and tend to shatter some of the faces on these things. I mean, not shatter, but not take care of them very well. So
Yeah, well, I mean, they're easy to scratch. That's why I'd like to go with the more expensive Apple Watch because it has the artificial sapphire that's a little harder to scratch and break. Because I swear to God, I bang it on every stupid doorknob in our house.
yes, yes. At work, just turning corners too, man. I find myself bumping the watch in the wall, and that's my worst fear of wearing an Apple Watch. So,
oh my gosh, yeah.
I've chosen to go without it.
Well, it's that time of the show, Watto Scrapyard again. We want to thank our friends over at Watto Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. You can find them on Instagram at Watto Scrapyard and on Facebook and eBay as well. They make 3D printed parts for hard-to-come-by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles, as well as resin printed head sculpts of dozens of characters in the Star Wars universe. At this point, that number's in the hundreds. Just saying.
Definitely.
But if you don't see a character you like in their Instagram, send them a message and they can get it designed and printed for you at a reasonable fee. I've used this service before. Amazing work. He does amazing work. He printed my Lana Benico, my Darth Talon, and my Sith Pureblood, which I'm still waiting to get painted. But can't go wrong with Watto. He does an amazing job.
He really does.
Yeah, great work there.
All right. Next is Seth's segment. Take it away, Seth.
The sneakers of the show. How great can you get?
And let's see, what is the sneaker of the show today? Oh!
Since we talked about Spider-Man, this is the Adidas Original Superstar Spider-Man Miles Morales. That is the picture of my sneakers. That is the picture of the sneakers in the game. How freaking cool can you get?
Can't get better than that.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, when we were talking about the Jordan 1s that were into the Spider-Verse, I was like, when these popped up in sneaker news, I was like, I am getting these. I'm not going to miss out on these. I'm not going to be stupid. No, they're mine.
And I wish they came in my size though. But holy crap, I wear 16 or 17 depending on the brand.
Yeah, so you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be sitting there on the street corner going, "Need shoes? Shoes?"
Yeah, no, they probably don't make them in your size. I'm sorry.
None of these nice sneaker companies do. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, you might be able to find some Jordans that big, but you know.
Maybe. Which I always thought, ironically, Jordans don't make bigger sizes when they're supposed to be after Michael Jordan, correct?
Mm-hmm. Although they're starting to branch into larger sizes, and you can oddly get Yeezys in that size too.
Interesting.
If you really, on the topic of shoes, want to see a scary video, you need to watch. Dude, I just blanked on his name. Dennis Rodman. You need to watch Dennis Rodman opening up Yeezy boxes. He is a madman. It is horrifying. I have never seen something so odd and so disgusting in my life.
What's so bad about it, or what's he doing?
He just shoe boxes are shoe boxes. How hard is it to open them? You just easy boxes slide open. They don't flip open, but he just grabs these boxes and he just starts tearing into them like a wild animal. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? It's just disturbing and weird, like you would expect from Dennis Rodman. I don't even know.
Well, I'm sure it's all a bit.
Oh my God.
What
All right.
how difficult were these pairs to get a hold of compared to some of the other ones?
So I actually have bought quite a bit from Adidas, and so like as you work your way up, like purchasing from Adidas, they put you on different levels. So I'm on like I don't know what they call it, icon level now. So they actually
Top
offered,
tier.
yeah, they actually offered the purchase to that status like a week before anybody else. So they were actually super easy.
Does Nike or any other shoe company not do something like that or have a program like
Not
that?
really. Nike does, but not as in depth as Adidas. So I do like Adidas for that fact. Adidas does a lot more fair drawings and just the ability that if you purchase more, you'll get better benefits.
Nice.
Nice. All right, Mario, it's time to cover your segment. Smuggling time. So you do some part-time smuggling work for artifacts and stuff out of Galaxy's Edge, correct?
You can
Why
say
don't you
that.
tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's it can be a little difficult sometimes or overwhelming considering how many people are asking me just to pick up whatever or trying to get a hold of somebody looking for something. Um, well, right now it's a little bit more difficult also considering what we talked about earlier, how all the Galaxy's Edge stuff is just in a pop-up shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but before, typically when I would just take a random trip to the park, and if I got time, I would shoot a post out to some of the groups. It says, "Hey, I'm here. Does anybody, is anybody looking for anything, Galaxy's Edge related or anything else?" It hasn't been too bad. Luckily, I can still walk out of there with maybe like about 2 or 3 hilts at the most. Couple kyber crystals here and there, so smuggling has been pretty manageable.
So when it gets busy, how many orders do you typically get?
These Ahsoka hilts that are coming out that are dropping Tuesday, right? So a lot of people have been asking for the Clone Wars hilts that are about to drop. Now they come in a pair. They're priced at $199 plus tax, and they change color with blades. I think similar to some of the custom hilts, how they can change color. These will do the same. They'll swap color from green to blue.
Mm-hmm.
I had at least maybe, I want to say a minimum of at least 10 people hit me up for those.
Myself
Right.
included.
Way to out yourself like that, damn.
Yeah. So,
I'll freely admit it, man.
yeah, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to fulfill these, right? Going over there and asking some of the cast members there, "Hey, how many hills can I pick up at a single time?" It's like, "Oh, you can get 10." I was like, "Oh, perfect, right?" So if I'm going by myself, there's no way I'm walking out of there with 10 packages, right? It's just too much.
Yeah.
You know, I would have to hire myself a crew, to do that, right?
Just
Now,
go down to the local gas station and be like, "Yo, amigos,
right?
man,
Go down
carry my
to
lightsabers."
yeah. Some of the Home Depots over here, right? Just pick up the ISIS and off you go. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this time around, these new merch that's coming out, that's been in Florida for about a month or so, they're finally coming out over here. They're finally dropping, and unfortunately, everything is based off a reservation system, and quantities are limited as far as how many you can purchase. So, unfortunately, for each reservation that I've booked, I can only pick up 2 at a time, and I got 2 reservations already booked for different days. There were a couple times where I've walked out with, maybe 4 Ahsoka hilts from the Rebels, and plus a couple other random things. And I gotta tell you, those some bitches get heavy, right?
I can imagine.
Those hilts are well constructed, full metal, and considering that there's 2 hilts in a single case, that's some weight.
Yeah.
That's some significant weight walking around, but But overall, it hasn't really been too bad. I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy helping out the community. And then later, I discovered a separate group that's basically a group of smugglers, smugglers East Coast, West Coast, and I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't know that this was a thing really, and I haven't really been too active in that group. I tend to stay with some of the groups that I'm at, just to keep it like really. I won't say on the down low, but more trying to keep things more manageable. Because if I were to advertise on some of those smuggling groups, I know it can really get a little bit more hectic. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
a lot of those smugglers will charge like 20% fee on top of the shipped price also.
Ooh, that can get expensive quick.
They can. But I don't think it's that bad. I mean, considering their time and now that we're being charged for parking out here just to go into the parks or what have you.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not too terrible. But yeah, I mean, is there anything in particular that you want to know? I mean,
I'm about to ask. So other than crystals and hilts and that kind of stuff, what items you get requested for? I mean, I
Hilts?
imagine.
Go ahead.
I said I imagine you can pretty much, once you're in the park, you can pretty much have at anything that's in there.
Sure.
What's the weirdest thing you've gotten requested for?
The weirdest thing. You know what? The majority of everything that I've smuggled were hilts. The weirdest thing, maybe I was inquired about some of the plushes, maybe the Kowakian monkey lizards, Salacious Crumb.
Oh my god.
Maybe a plush bantha or two. You know.
So, side note, when I went to go visit the creature stall, I picked up a loaf cat myself.
Nice.
But I wanted to get a Kowakian monkey lizard until I saw the price.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not paying $100 for a Kowakian monkey lizard.
$100? I thought they were 80.
They were 90 at Disney World, and by the time you factored in tax, it was going to be damn near 100.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not paying that for a Kowakian monkey lizard that I control with a remote like this. And not when I was previously in the Avatar land and they had the Banshees that did the exact same thing for like $30 cheaper. I'm like, no.
It's that Star Wars name on it, man. You know?
Yep.
I know.
That's what they'll get you.
Gotta pay that Star Wars tax.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I wound up picking up a loaf cat, and I enjoy it. I love that little thing. He's cute.
That one makes sounds, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can pet him, and it'll growl, and
Nice.
you can make his mouth go open, and he'll roar, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the animatronic they have sitting over there in the cage that's asleep. That's pretty neat too. I like looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get some of the other creatures that were there, but I was on a budget, and I already knew what I wanted at that point. So
yeah. But typically, lightsaber hilts rather. Right now, I know there's a couple more that are coming out too.
Yeah, aren't they coming out with Cal Kestis?
Cal Kestis, right. That one's dropping. But some of the other ones that they had, that other nominees, it would be nice to really see those hilts also to come to pass. Sure.
What were the other nominees again?
One of them, Qui-Gon Jinn, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridgers. I think it was a newer one. There's 2.0.
I would have loved to see both of those in Galaxy's Edge form, because right now the only way you can get those is custom market.
Right. And I would love to see if that came to Legacy as far as Kanan, because that thing is so unique how it's modular. It detaches, to become a couple of different things, and then if it could do that.
So, fun fact: the custom I'm talking about, made by Ultra Sabers, does that.
Oh wow!
It can come apart, and you can store it and then put it back together. The second Ezra Saber, the one he uses in season 3 and beyond, is Saber Forge.
There was another hilt that was on that nominees list from the what was that? The Vader game for the Oculus, I think it was.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah, it's a funky looking hilt. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks kind of medieval like. Right? I don't know if you saw the pictures of that. I forget who the character was. But so what it is, it's just like a long hilt, right? And you have these two off of the sides, there's these two like kind of like I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm how to describe
guard, hilts, guard.
it.
Something.
Yeah, kind of like hilt guards, right? And right in the center of it is a floating kyber crystal.
Oh wow!
And it just ignites. I have no idea how that thing works or how they would put a blade in that thing, because the design looks so narrow where it wouldn't allow for a blade. But it's a beautiful looking design. It's really nice for something like this. It's really unique, right? And another one on there was Anakin Episode 2, which is kind of more of a more leaning towards, I guess, or actually more the Darth Vader. If you look at it, it's a little bit of mix of the graphics hilt, along with some. It ends up looking like a Vader hilt when he's full Vader in the costume.
Nice.
Yeah, if you take another look at it, but yeah, the one that won, the Cal Kestis, that'll be a good one. Hope it's supposed to be dropping sometime next year.
That'll be awesome. That'll be worth the trip.
Oh, absolutely. And if anyone out there looking for something, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I'm always around. Whatever you need, hilts, crystals, sabak dice hanging off your rearview mirror, or the sabak game itself. Any art prints they might have over there. Also, there's a wide range of product out there.
So how is there smuggling seasons? Like, I know you probably have to have like an annual pass or something like that to do
For
this.
me, yeah. I wouldn't call it a season, really. I'm one of those. This time when I picked up an annual pass, I was at the parks damn near once or twice a week, just because I love being there.
Sure.
Right. And then I would just offer up randomly, just to smuggle for anybody who was ever looking for something. So I never found it to be a chore, to be honest, because I really wasn't smuggling too much out of the parks. But like I said, I enjoy helping out the community when I can.
Sure, and that's what it's all about, is everybody helping each other out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So is there anything else you'd like to mention about smuggling there, Mario? Or
I believe I've covered most of it. Is there anything that any of you guys have any questions about anything? Or
I'm good. Seth?
No, I'm good. I think you covered it all.
Awesome. Well, that concludes that portion of the show. So let's move on to thank our Patreons. And dear God, I hope I don't screw this up too bad. Alright, Ben Porter, Griffin Crambell, Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Ran Mendez, Eric Marcel, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, nailed it, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Critt, Jason Nelson, Big Fern, King Zachary 5, Caesar Morrow Quinn, Eddie Mendez, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Pershaw, Sean Utsby, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, Stephen Maria Stindley, and Lord Volditort, the newest addition to the Patreon page. Thank you for all that you do. It allows us to make complete arseholes of ourselves on this show and just entertain you for hours to come.
Yep. Definitely.
Right. So check out our December Patreon benefits. We have the Collecting Weekly 4-inch Lindo Cling. They have a little bitty button here for a nice little button here, a little mini Christmas card, some Collecting Weekly holiday stickers here. And this will be included, I believe, in the base Patreon package. So let's take a look here. Here it is. So, our Patreon benefits tiers, Sweet Angel, which will give you a Patreon exclusive swag from the Collecting Weekly Network at $5 a month. Will get you a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Aux After Dark replay. Basically, if you like what we do, Aux After Dark, it's a great time. It's really where we let our hair down and really just don't care. And so we have some pretty interesting conversations there. A little bit it's after dark for a reason, so if you're easily offended, don't show up. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. Certified Crispy, $15 a month. Crispy, this tier includes a Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge, assistance with the figure fixes by Zach, message him beforehand to confirm if it's possible, and all the benefits of the previous tier. And the Wada Guy, $25 a month. Wada Guy. Folks in this tier get a signed Collecting Weekly 5 18 by 24 silhouette poster with on first pledge. Doubles of all the stickers we send. One sculpt a year, printed by Darkside Customs after 3 months. And then all the benefits of the previous tiers. Let me tell you, that Darkside Customs, worth the price right there. Ian does amazing work. He's actually the guy who's going to be painting my Sith Pureblood here. So,
dude, that's going to turn out so good.
Oh, I'm super excited. I am super, super excited. Here's a nice little shot of some of the different stickers and stuff we offer. And send your hate mail to Collecting Weekly 58886 Devazila Road, Suite 102, Box 292, San Antonio, Texas 78249. That's it. Send your hate mail, send your love letters, whatever you desire. Would love to hear from you.
I'm sure. Do we read it? Maybe.
Check us out at Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, our Facebook page. A lot of good community there. Great community. Honestly, especially after a recent foul up with our Secret Santa, the community rallied around one member, and it was just a beautiful thing. So you should definitely be a part of this community if you can. All right, check out our other Collecting Weekly shows. We have Axion, where we auction off once a month different collectibles. We have, of course, the main show, Collecting Weekly. Our show, Collecting Rarities, which is awesome, by the way. Just saying.
It's the best.
Small Talk, The Joy of Hobbying, OFAC, Only Fools in Collecting, our English buddies overseas. We get their cynical, sarcastic, witty opinions. It's awesome.
And they sound so polite while doing it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what they do. We have Collecting Comics, After Dark, and Creeps Are Us. Manny is killing it with Creeps Are Us right now.
Creeps Are Us the best show, honestly. It's so interesting and such a drastically different show from what else we have, and just honestly what else is out there.
So fun listening to those stories too. Can't wait for the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, final thoughts and comments, everybody. Anybody have any final concerns, hate mail, bullshit? I mean, anything?
Random interjection thought. So, yes, Lord Voldemort is me. I thought it would be hilarious to have my tortoise be one of the Patreons. And so wasn't thinking about actually getting mail to my house addressed to my tortoise. And I swear to God, it must have been hilarious to see my mailman delivering mail for my tortoise.
That is awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that's flipping awesome. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm looking forward to your next topic. What we discussed earlier, when unfortunately you couldn't bring to this show.
Yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to cover the trains in this episode just because of the amount of time and the lack of research I was able to do in between this show and, the last show and this show. But rest assured, late next January, I'm bringing in an expert. Now, whether or not that expert's going to be able to appear on the show remains to be seen. But I'm at least going to pick his brain a little bit. This guy is a model train aficionado. His whole pool house is nothing but a train get up. I mean, his entire first floor is just a complete table, like literally the size of my flipping apartment.
That's wild.
Of model trains, and his entire second floor of his pool house is train storage of all his model trains.
Wow. You know, speaking of trains, and earlier with our Disney talk, I got to say, one of the biggest things that I miss personally about going to the park was just walking through that front entrance, and the first thing you really see is that Disneyland Railroad.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of that, and that's probably one of my favorite things in the park.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, nice hanging with you too, Jason Nelson. It was
Thanks
a good
for
show.
Joining our wacky show.
Yeah, it was a good show considering we basically put it together the last minute. But
sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone.
yeah, it's all good. We got it resolved, and that's what counts. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm Raynor.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Mario.
Stay rare, stay golden, everybody, and have an excellent night.